Younger people of Reddit. What are you tired of hearing from older generations? Story 1. My mom and I got into a fight over housing affordability. Your father, 55, and I, 53, worked very hard to afford this house, 175K, and you make more than we did at the time we bought, 1992. The house is now worth about 1.5 million. My mom didn't work and my dad made 100,000 a year. I make 150,000 a year and homes in my price range are 600,000. 1 hour plus away from where I want to be, and less than half the size with less than half the lot. Story 2. As a 29-year-old, tired of more senior people telling me I'll understand joint pain and tiredness when I'm older. I'm disabled and chronically ill. I have had bad joints since birth. Like, it's great that all your health problems result from your age, but mine have been around and will worsen. Story 3. I'm sick of hearing about how young people spend all their time on TikTok and they have stupid dances and they're just staring at screens all day, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they do all that stuff, but we had stupid dances when we were younger. We sat in front of TV all day. I've yet to see someone with square eyes. Also, hearing about how kids, young people today have no respect for their elders. MFs were doing the same shit that people today are doing now. The difference is that everyone has a camera in their pocket. Story 4. I was at my girlfriend's parents' place, and she told us something generally unbelievable that she had read about on Instagram. I casually asked if that was verified to have happened, and her mother very sarcastically replied, "Oh, are you one of those fact-checker types?" Is that an insult or something to want to know the truth? My parents and teachers reinforced the don't believe something because you read it on the internet. Story 5. I dated a girl with a mother like that once. Girlfriend unfortunately fell for her mom's bullshit and ended up just as crazy and paranoid as her. I had a rough year trying to convince her that QAnon was fake, made up, but she had none, so I eventually had to leave her for my mental health. And we were on and off for about 5 to 6 years, so it wasn't enjoyable to spend so much time with someone only for them to do an about face and become somebody completely different. Anyway, I hope your girlfriend is more resilient to that quiet shit than mine was. It's sad watching people fall victim to the darker parts of the internet and the media. Story 6. My shithead of a dad did that too. I would act like a dumbass for not knowing something as if it's supposed to just come to me in a vision one night. No, father, you're one of 2 people responsible for ensuring I'm privy to valuable and essential information in life. Maybe if you expect me to know, you should teach me. Story 7. I'm sick of hearing about them bitching about participation trophies. I got one in middle school and was told to appreciate that I got it. I didn't want it. I knew that I hadn't done anything to deserve a trophy. It went into a drawer and needed to be remembered. People love complaining about how participation trophies ruin children when the adults decided to hand them out. How idiotic is it to say, here's your award for existing, followed by, you fuckers need to be awarded for just existing, in nearly the same breath. Story 8. I was the youngest to help with Take Your Child to Work Day at a big Fortune 250 company. The primary conversation for the planning team was about what gifts, plural, would be given to the kids. They all looked dumbfounded when I told the group that kids want to spend time with their parents and understand why they were gone for so long, or even what we do, how cool it is. They still ended up buying multiple loads of cheap crap, but at least we made the rest of the event a program and not just a speech from an officer of the company while mom, dad, guardian was at their desks working. Story 9. I'm fed up with some older people expecting gratitude for all that they've done while taking zero responsibility for the problems they'll leave for future generations. Story 10. I'm 50 and struggling with the desire to see my parents' generation fade away as soon as possible. My father-in-law is dying at 85 years old. His answer to all existential concerns like environmental issues, education, and healthcare access is always, who's going to pay for all of that? The answer is me and my children's generation, who will pay out the ass because his generation worshipped money and comfort and convenience. Story 11. I love my grandparents, but sometimes they grind my gears. A couple of days ago, I worked a typical 8-hour day in construction, mostly crawling on a roof to patch it up. In the evening, I sat in a bus with the most unergonomic seats imaginable for 2 hours to get to their place, and dared to complain about my hurting back. I'm 22. I'm not allowed to have any pain whatsoever. I need to get more into shape. I can have pain when I'm 80, like them. Seriously? Story 12. My kids enjoy Minecraft and Fortnite, so when it's time or about time for something, I tell them time to head back to base or finish our rounds. I expect them to be ready slowly. Although sometimes I get lucky, they're just in pre-lobby or already back doing something else. But I know how long it should take for them to be logged off and ready. Story 13. I'm an older millennial. I have a good job and a house and 2 kids. It's 2022, and at least half the times I hear someone older reference millennials, it's talking about people who are currently the age my cohort was 22 years ago when the millennium was a thing. Story 14. My father, in his mid-70s, had to do PT for an injury. And after every appointment, he'd tell us about the wacky things his millennial therapist said or did or wore during the meeting. She was 24, and nothing she said, did, or wore was wacky. Dad, please. Do you know who the millennials are? Your kids who are knocking on the 40s door with kids of our own, not that 24-year-old PT. Story 15. My partner does emergency roadside service, and he responded to a tire change just this week. But unfortunately, the guy he met was the father of the car's owner, and he told my partner, my 18-year-old son, doesn't even know how to change a tire. Dude, it's your teenage son. You should have taught him. Also, why aren't you changing it then? Story 16. I remember when we got our first cordless phone. The freedom to take it to my room to lay on my bed and talk to my best friend for hours was a bliss. My friend's mom sometimes would yell that they should spend time with their kids instead of on the phone. I even had friends who had a 30-minute limit to calls. When my friends would ask if their parents would take them to see their friends or if their friends could come over, it was always no. Such mixed messages were so upsetting. Some parents have always been selfish, irrational assholes, and they always will be. It's not about technology or the changing times. It's just the age-old struggle between parent and child. Story 17. I'm a cell phone repair tech. Older adults are more reliant on them. I've had several older adults freak out that I needed an hour or so to repair their phone. I've never had a younger person freak out on me for it, even if it hit a day or two. Story 18. I'll never forget when I went on a family vacation in 2017. I still had homework, projects, and assignments due for my fall semester in college. So I was forced to pay $150 for the unlimited Wi-Fi that the cruise offered. In the elevator down to the main deck, a boomer woman sneered at me and said, "I can't believe your generation. You should put down your phone and enjoy your vacation. Your boyfriend can wait for a few days." I was reading research material for my capstone thesis and taking notes on Google Docs. I was too speechless to clap back, but I didn't understand why she needed a comment. Mind your fucking business, boomer. Story 19. I remember teachers telling us to not use online sources because anyone can put anything on the internet. Wikipedia in particular was the devil. Fast forward to college, my professors told us to use online sources as long as we could vet them. I had a couple of points out that the citations on Wikipedia are a good starting point for sources. Meanwhile, while my mom has gotten better about checking sources herself, she often forwards me something from Facebook to ask me to prevent it. That's way better than her blindly believing it as many do, but still an interesting reversal from the whole "don't trust online sources" thing I heard constantly growing up.